It is time to trim this hibiscus. I have not seen any buds on it yet, and I want to trim it before it has buds on it. I don't want to be cutting off flowers. And in the fall, this thing is covered with buds. When I bring it in the house, it blooms like crazy for a while, a month or so. So today's the day. I'm not going to film me actually trimming it, but I'm using scissors. These are good scissors. I bought these recently from the grocery store. It's really worth it to get a new pair of scissors. These are the first two that I cut. I have two vases, one shorter for the shorter pieces and one taller for the taller pieces, and I've taken all the foliage off. That'll just put a drag on them. And this is not something that I've ever done or that I've seen anybody do, but I put a little rooting hormone in there, in the water. They will sit in water for a little bit before I get them planted. So I'm not only trimming, but I'm trying to propagate. This is the second time I'm trying to propagate this tree. I did it last year. I got really busy. I put them out in the greenhouse and they fried. So, wish me luck. This is where I've started. These branches were running into the water feature. But I think I need to take it down even more. I mean, seriously, this tree was just way too wide to have it down low. I had to put it up high to get it out of the way so I could walk underneath it instead of running into it. I think I need to take that branch a little bit closer to the tree. This is where I've started. These branches were running into the water feature. But I think I need to take it down even more. I mean, seriously, this tree was just way too wide to have it down low. I had to put it up high to get it out of the way so I could walk underneath it instead of running into it. I think I need to take that branch a little bit closer to the tree. This is the all-important air layering attempt, so I'm going to cut this off and see what we have underneath. We are hoping for roots. This is one of the branches that was just extending out way too far. You can see I have made a difference. I'm just doing the lower branches first because the width was the biggest problem when I brought it in. And then I'll deal with the height. I want to end up with a nice round ball. Okay, I'm going to uncover it and I'll show you what we have under there. I'm going to take the scissors and just cut this off and I'll show you. The moment of truth. There are no roots that I can see. And it looks like the part that I scored is healed. Disappointed. Gonna cut it off. I'm starting with this one, even though it didn't have any root growth. This is just moisture control potting soil. I have a bag underneath it because this pot has a lot of crazy holes in the bottom. So here we go. And I'm going to cover it. Propagation number 1. Now all I have to do is find a good shady spot for it. Sunlight, no direct light. I trimmed one branch to the left. It's a wee bit higher, close to touching. But other than that, I kind of like the height. I kind of like the shape. I don't need to ball it up. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. But I'm going to go slow. I really like the way it looks. And if I have too many propagations at one time, that's when I'll lose them. Less is more. So, yeah, I like it. I had to move my bird to another branch. This bird has wings that will move in the wind. And I moved an air plant. Where did you go? Right here. That air plant had to be moved up and better secured. I still do not know exactly what I'm going to do with all these air plants in here. I have mentioned that if they stay, they have to be wired on. Definitely would like some of them to stay. I love it. This one had to be moved too. It was on the one I just propagated. It wraps around. That one's growing onto it and I think would stay. There's an air plant. There's an air plant. Yeah, some of these were twisted on in a way that I think they'll be fine. There's an air plant. This one would have to be wired on. That's an air plant. Yeah, so it's covered in air plants. But they're important to me. So funny, I was talking to my daughter about putting some in her room against the wall on some shelves that are attached to the wall. And she's like, well, I don't really care for air plants. So I guess you either love them or you don't care for them. My other hibiscus is blooming. Does not need to be trimmed. This had a lot of buds on it when I brought it in the fall. And they all fell off. Huge disappointment. So I have twins here. It has buds, not blooming yet. But this is exciting for me. Makes my heart sing. Still waiting for roses. Rose bush is doing okay, but has no buds. I have redone the lights in the back here, which feels really nice. These are brine shrimp that I hatch from eggs. They're so small, I doubt you'd be able to see any of these on camera today. But those have to be fed and enriched and fed to the pipefish that I brought home from Florida. These are doing wonderful. Geraniums. I'm stoked. So that's why they're here in the middle. Because I want to soak them up. I want my heart to sing. It's spring. There's one more I want to show you. This geranium. It's underneath the water feature in the kitchen. Camera's picking up that red in the leaves. This was doing poorly on the other plant shelf, and I moved it to the kitchen, and it perked right up. My thought was I'll move it to the kitchen, later I'll take it to the greenhouse, and I'm glad I didn't because I'm fighting bugs out there. So I'm going to be really careful about what I do out there with the stuff I have in here. Need to check on some of my old propagations.